G'day, I'm Mark from Self-Sufficient Me, and it's a beautiful winter's day here in sunny southeast Queensland, Australia. And today I just want to show you some of my mandarin and orange trees that we're growing here on our property. Citrus generally are a pretty easy tree to grow. I know you guys in the colder climates will say, oh yeah, they don't grow too well for us, but I do get quite a bit of correspondence through YouTube and my blog of people that grow citrus in pots, indoors and in conservatories and greenhouses, and they do it very successfully. And that's because citrus trees in general are very, very easy to grow in whatever soil or whatever type of climate, as long as you just give it enough love and care. I've got really heavy clay soil here, and where other trees find it very difficult to grow, like avocados and fruit trees that need really well draining soil, all my citrus grow and thrive here. So it's a really easy crop for me just to continue to grow and use. Now, getting on to our oranges and mandarins. We grow several varieties of oranges here, and I have currently only 2 varieties of mandarins, but you'll see the tree behind me is an Imperial. It's an easy peel mandarin, and really we don't need any more mandarin trees because it's just such a great cropper and producer. Since this tree has ripened up, we've given away probably 150. You can see behind that this tree is just full of fruit. This is the Imperial Mandarine. It's an Australian favourite, really easy to peel. It's got few seeds, but I know people say, oh, I like seedless varieties, but these grow terrific. And really, seeds in a mandarin, look how easy that was to peel and pull apart. All that I simply do is bite the end. Well, this didn't have a seed in it. Oh God, that's good. I bite the end off, like that, get rid of the seed, and then eat the full thing. It's wonderful. My boys get 2 mandarins a day in their lunch boxes, and when they come home from school, they run down stairs and they hit up the mandarin tree for another feed for afternoon tea. Let's go around and have a look at all of the oranges and mandarin trees I've got going, and I'll run a little bit of a commentary on them. Let's just start at the top of our orchard, and I'll show you our other mandarin tree. Now, this is a honey Murcott. It's a famous mandarin tree because it's got beautiful sweet fruit. The only thing I don't like about it is it's a hard fruit to peel. You have to really get your fingernails in and get under there and peel the fruit. In the process, it usually takes some of the flesh with it and drips juice everywhere. But speaking of juice, they juice up wonderfully. So we usually eat our Imperial mandarins first, and then we're pretty well fed up eating mandarins. We just juice these in the juicer. But they are a wonderful tasting mandarin. This tree's quite old, but it had a root ball problem. It had an ant's nest. What I had to do is remove the tree when it was actually about this size. So I pruned it all back, removed the root ball, got rid of the ants, and just transplanted it there. And now it's coming back beautifully. And in a couple of years it'll be quite a large tree. As we move down, I'll take you to our first orange tree. This is a Lane's Late Navel, and I've grown this because it flowers later than other oranges, hence the name. It produces a beautiful navel orange, lovely tasting, similar to the Washington, probably not quite as sweet. And the first few years the fruit was quite sparse. This year we've got quite a number of fruit on it. This tree's about 5 years old now, and it's got some good clusters of fruit, and it does really well. Okay, moving through, our next orange tree is a Valencia. Not just a great name. And the other thing that I love about Valencia oranges is that they hold on the tree. They hold on the tree for a long time after the season's finished. And yeah, you get a couple that might drop off, but the majority of them stay on there. So that when we're finished picking our Navel oranges, then we come to this tree. We don't pick any of these at the moment. We just leave them sitting, and they'll ripen up and they'll just stay on the tree. And this will be the last orange tree we use, so our season's extended wonderfully. And Valencia oranges are smaller than the other ones. You could say they're a medium-sized orange, but they're very disease resistant, well, all citrus are, and they taste terrific and they juice really well as well. And moving down past our mandarin tree where I started this off from. This is our Washington orange. It's our oldest tree. It's probably about 10 years old. And it produces a lot of oranges. We've used most of these up. I've gone halfway through the footy season. And I supply the oranges every week for the team, and the oranges are wonderful. These are a seedless variety. And we've had no trouble with this tree at all. It consistently produces good crops every year. Now, I didn't mention this before, but our Imperial Mandarine has a tendency to be biannual. Like this season, it's produced a whole heap of mandarins, hundreds of them. And we've picked hundreds already, and you still see how many is on there. But next year it'll have less. It'll probably have half that, and that's because it's a biannual cropper. So I think what it does is it gives itself a rest for a season, and then it really pumps up the next season after. One last orange tree I just want to show you is this blood orange. There's been a lot of talk about blood oranges and how they're full of antioxidants and all that, so I thought I'd grab a tree. I'm quite disappointed with this one though, although it's growing quite nicely. It's about 2 years old. I'll show you a cut one that I've cut open in a second. But it doesn't seem to produce the oranges the coloured oranges that I expected. Here it is here, and it looks like a normal orange to me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but on the picture on the label it's supposed to have really red, dark red rings and a pigmentation through the flesh. It doesn't have any of that, so I don't know, will it get better as the tree gets older? I don't know, maybe I've been sold a dud. That doesn't look like blood red orange to me. As far as food and fertiliser goes, I like to mulch our trees when I can. I don't mulch them all the time and just keep the mulch up. I give them a good mulching and let that mulch last. I grab the mulch from our chicken pens and quail pens and just from around the area, raking up leaves, etc. And on top of that, I'll throw a good couple of kilo of citrus fertiliser every year, just once a year, and sometimes maybe a little bit of organic chicken manure or chicken pellets, dynamic lifter, that type of thing. But that's about all that I do to feed our citrus crops. So that's my little orange and mandarin excursion through our backyard. As far as fruit trees go, citrus is definitely one of my favourites. Now, just quickly on pests, I don't spray our trees with anything except for sometimes some pest oil. You can make that up yourself, but apart from that, maybe a little bit of pyrethrum, but it's very rare. I can't recall the last time I sprayed the trees. You can get sometimes a little bit of sooty mould on the oranges and the mandarines, and you get some imperfections like some brown spots and that type of thing. As long as the insides are fine, don't be too concerned at all about what the outsides look like. Save your money on spraying, and more importantly save your health on not having to suck in any of those chemicals that are unnecessarily sprayed on all the citrus that you buy in the shops. Thanks a lot for watching. Have any questions, whack them below, or visit the blog or our forum and say hello. Cheers, bye for now.